Welcome to the Developing Leaders series. My name is Miriam McLemore, former corporate CIO at the Coca-Cola Company and now enterprise strategist with AWS, where I partner with leaders globally to enable business transformation. We have invited leaders from around the world and across industries to share their insights on leadership, vision, strategy, and people development. Morgan, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
I'd like to start our conversation and learn a little bit about how you identify leaders in your organization.
Well, whether we look for them internally or externally, the two biggest things I look for, regardless of what positions we're hiring for, but especially at the leadership level, is culture fit and attitude. We really need to make sure that they're customer focused, they're high energy, and they can communicate the technological ideas with people skills and make that connection.
So how do you get them the experience that they need to lead in your organization?
So we've had about 50-50 bringing leaders in from the outside because we realized when I first took over the state, we didn't have certain leaders for certain positions, so we did need to import. But otherwise, proving themselves, giving them projects, giving them stretch goals and seeing how they perform. We actually have been doubling down on some new technologies and having to bring in leaders to do things that the state's never done. One position, we actually brought in somebody from another business unit that had the right attitude, the right background, but they hadn't done this specific project yet, but nobody else had. So we gave her a chance, and she's actually been one of our superstars and has kind of raised the bar of what we expect from other leaders, because now we have somebody that's doing this. Everybody should be able to at least go at that same pace. And another area, their cloud operations. Being a government organization, we weren't the most cutting edge.
Yeah.
So we had to bring somebody in that not had only studied the cloud and was certified in it, but had done it and actually transformed organizations. And he's been a rising star in our organization, somebody that within the first year we're looking at promoting and having junior leaders underneath him that can learn from him.
Having those new leaders in there, has that brought up the rest of the organization as well?
It has, and it's allowed us to look at some of our other leaders and, whether it's holding them to a higher account or potentially, we have had to make some adjustments, moving people around to different places where they can be successful. Some folks have exited our organization, and I think we have that in any organization. Some people can't keep up as you raise the bar and as you set new goals. But for the most part, we have a really great leadership team, people that, whether they're customers of ours, stakeholders, partners, they've seen what it's been like to work for the state, and that's attracted talent. We have people coming to us asking, do you guys have openings, or I'd love to work with you. So that's been good. I think that I wasn't expecting that when I first started.
Yeah.
But it's been a good message because we're getting things done. We're also having fun doing it.
Are they excited about the changes? Are they feeling like IT's leading and innovating on their behalf?
Some of them more than others, the ones that have been disrupted, I think. And we run statewide IT, so any IT system that every state employee logs into comes under my purview. So the state network, the state cybersecurity controls that run on top of that network, the human resource system people log in to get paid, the accounting system we use to move the money around. Those things fall under us. And what we've been doing this last couple of years is expanding that to core IT services. So we inherited 30 different email systems. We had to go to our customers and say, what value are you adding running your own email system? Perhaps you should come onto the enterprise platform, free up IT resources to do other things that I'm sure will add value to your mission and to your citizens.
Did they buy in to that?
Most of them have. I have had some agency CIOs tell me, well, even if the governor tells us to, we're not going to do that. We're just that unique and special. And, that's really between their agency director and the governor. I'm going to step out of that conversation. But we are having a lot of successes with those, the early adopters, the folks that have seen the vision and followed along. And they're able to say, we can now do things faster. We are now more secure. We didn't intend on those benefits, but seeing them early really helped put some more wind behind the sails.
Yeah, I would think it, particularly from a government agency standpoint, security has to be critical.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we found that the workloads that we put in the cloud, we have more visibility, better monitoring. A lot of our cybersecurity controls, we align with the federal NIST standards and have 16 cybersecurity controls. A lot of those are cloud-based controls anyway. So we really have cloud solutions protecting our networks. It's no longer one perimeter. There is no perimeter anymore, but we have the right visibility to the right controls.
And does it help that we have, the intelligence community in AWS? I assume that use case is valuable to you.
Absolutely. So John from the CIA is one of the CIOs that I get to visit with when I come to these things, except for this week. And being able to see what they've done with the most secure, confidential data there is, who are the terrorists and where are they? We don't have anything like that. And I've been able to successfully tell a lot of my CISOs in other agencies, well, if it's good enough for the CIA, it's probably good enough for you.
It could be.
But let's explore that and let's understand what are your reasons and what are your constraints and how we can work with our partners, AWS or otherwise, to help meet those needs.
Being that representative of cloud and technology, new tech, how do you keep yourself current on technology trends?
So a couple of things. I try to go to the conferences with our largest partners that make sense and understand the roadmap. Some of our key vendor partners we have monthly business reviews with where it's, who are you talking to in the state? Who are we talking to? Where can we help each other? I also try to spend just as much time with my agency customers and ask them what's getting in their way and, what business problems are they trying to solve? And we're really trying to be more of a technology broker. If we can help marry the problems with the solutions, whoever's providing those, to start getting those wins, we're going to get credibility as a problem solver, and they're going to come back to us for other things. And that's happened. We had some agencies when I started that, wouldn't return our phone calls, wouldn't take meetings. So I actually went to their offices and well, the state CIO's never visited me before, but I'm here because, hey, if you tell me my entire team sucks and nothing we do works, I want to hear that so I can make those improvements. And they started, we had to then listen to the feedback and make those changes. But once we were able to do that, we started seeing some successes. But again, we're not doing it alone. We're doing it with a lot of great partners behind our back.
So along those lines, how do you keep the business teams then current on technology trends?
We created a team called Business Engineering because we believe there are no IT projects. There are only business projects with an IT component. And we brought everybody together that was in that kind of customer-facing role. And we said, your job is to, kind of tend to this flock of agencies. What do these customers need? Where are they struggling? What's coming up? What are they thinking about? And how can we help? And if we don't make $1 helping them, that's fine, as long as we're solving problems for them, helping them get better technology. In order for them to go out and be able to solve these problems, they need to understand what solutions are out there. So we try to bring in vendors that we work with to say, show us what's possible, right? Let's have an AWS day, let's have a Google day, a Salesforce day, et cetera. The cybersecurity controls, they need to be able to speak intelligently to our agency customers about what each of these do and how it protects them and what they're at risk of if they don't adopt so that they can, make informed decisions. They don't need to be very deep on tech, but they need to be about, this wide because they need to be able to talk intelligently about our catalog.
Along through your career, were there people that inspired you, that kind of showed you the art of the possible, that you feel like really had an impact on how you lead and how you think about developing leaders?
In terms of, leaders overall that, kind of inspire me, it's those that have, have the odds against them and have, persisted through, whether it's stiff competition, regulations, nobody believes in them. So just some names that came to mind were, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, and yes, I do happen to drive a Tesla, own an iPhone, and I've been a Prime member since 2012. So
there you go. So you're living your...
I live those, and it helps me to, have somebody that has it worse than we do, and be able to look, guys, look what this organization's doing. Look where they were. Look where they are now. If they can do it, we can too. That's really compelling because there isn't that excuse of, well, we couldn't.
Now we can't be that.
Yeah, we can absolutely be that. And, AWS has been a great partner in helping us learn how to do that. And we've had to be very tenacious and very committed to some of our goals. And there's been plenty of objections and plenty of people saying, we don't want you to do this, we don't think you should. But it's been getting not only sticking to our guns internally, but getting the leaders from the top down to say this is what we're doing. There's still agencies that are, even though there's been a mandate, there's been a compelling argument to go, they're still dragging their feet, or in some cases doing the opposite of what we ask. So there is something to be said for setting a good example and being able to point to other agencies that have gone before and say they were able to do it, they're successful now, and hopefully get them to come around. But we'll never get them all.
Yeah, but that leadership support is absolutely critical. I do absolutely agree. Morgan, thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely.
This was great.
It was. Thanks, Miriam.